Hi Virgo, welcome back. Spiritual Barbie here. This is your weekly December 2020 reading, focus reading, love and romance reading. So Virgo, before we even start the reading, just be sure to give this video a like. Take some time out as well at some point in the video to also leave a comment down below. Go ahead and share your story at your earliest convenience. And also, if you've been thinking about doing it for a minute and you're sure that you want to, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. And also hit the bell so that you may be notified about all future uploads. All right, Virgo. This is a weekly love forecast reading. Love and romance, soulmate, twin flame connections. And this is going to be focused in the perspective of this other person, but it also sometimes lately it both messages for both people have been showing up. Okay, just going ahead and shuffling the cards, just pulling them out for you guys. Okay, so all that card fell out. That's definitely significant. All right. My Virgo loves underlying energy is a Seven of Pentacles. So this person has definitely been very invested in this connection for a while and will continue to invest in this connection for as long as they need to. This person takes this relationship very, very seriously. And I don't know why, if you need to hear that or if you, I'm not sure, but this person takes this connection very seriously. They've taken a lot of stock into they've taken a lot of stock and put a lot of effort and time and money and whatever they invest into the situation, and they're determined to see this connection to victory. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and clean the energy of the cards that I have pulled out here. Okay, so all right, so Virgo, in the distant past energy, we have the Seven of Cups. So this person is kind of confused about where things were going, but they also saw many possibilities as to what this could be. In the recent past, this person had the Eight of Wands energy in which they wanted to strive forward. Maybe there was a blockage that was removed, and so communication happened. Some of you guys may have also been confused about where the situation was going, or this person was confused about where the situation was going. But I'm seeing here in the recent past, they made up their mind and they were going in a direction. They started going in a direction that was very positive for the both of you guys. Okay, now the present energy for this person is the Five of Wands when it comes to this connection. So they are kind of experiencing growth, and I feel like this connection is kind of challenging their comfort zone and asking them to come out of their comfort zone. There may be a little bit of like, there may be a need to visit or revisit times in which this person may have competed and lost. So where they felt like they competed, possibly for your attention, for your affection, or for something that they wanted from you, and they're revisiting that. Or they could be either revisiting it in spirit or revisiting it with you, in the sense that there could be some disagreements, but it doesn't really feel like disagreements, just ultimately changes that are ultimately for the greater good of the connection. So the focus of this person and what they're frustrated about is the Chariot reverse. So this person is frustrated because they may feel like they can't do it. Like they may feel like the situation will not make it. They may feel like the situation may not reach victory, even though I'm really feeling like this person really wants a victory in this connection. Now, the conscious thoughts and the desires this person has is the Magician. So this person is very much desiring and wanting and willing to fix the situation. They're wanting to bring something to fruition with the two of you guys. They're wanting to make something happen. They're also wanting a new beginning as well. They could be wanting to initiate contact and communication. Some of you guys, this person, you may not be speaking to them right now, and they're wanting to initiate contact and communication. And that is clarity, and that is inspiration given to them from spirit that is kind of nudging them along to go ahead and initiate contact, initiate communication, or initiate reconnecting with Virgo. So what is this reconnection around? We have the Ten of Wands. So it's around burdens. It's also around this person being very overwhelmed with life and just energy. This person could be kind of stressed out with certain situations in their life that could be confusing them as well. The Chariot reversed again. So they're feeling like at a loss right now, and they may be feeling like they're not going to be victorious at this connection, and they want nothing more but to be victorious with you. And this Five of Wands energy is only manifested in this connection because this person was, they were, instead of seeing, I think at some points they saw all the possibilities in this, but at other points they let that get the best of them. And so they began to be very confused as to what this was going to be. Believe it or not, the Seven of Cups is clarified by the Seven of Cups, you guys. So this person began to be very confused as to what this connection could really be and what it really means. Like, they may have been wondering what you meant to them, or what you, like, if you think of them in the way that they think of you. Okay, I'm hearing Virgo, that this starts to get really good. And I'm also hearing Cancer. Okay, so check out the Cancer reading. So you have the Two of Swords. They were very overwhelmed with outside opinions, different viewpoints, having a lot of hearsay around them, needing to have the strength to follow their heart despite everything outside of them. You know, their heart is like with you, Virgo. Their heart is like, you know, wanting this so badly, but I feel like there's so much outside of them that is going in the other direction. It's like literally a perfect example of the Lovers, where it's like inside of this person, they want you and they want victory with you. We see a Chariot 2 times, so they want a victory, desperately want a victory with you. I mean, it's probably one of the only things that Spirit is inspiring them with of late, is the Magician and the Chariot energies, making the situation victorious, taking it to where you guys want it to go. And Virgo, this person, they may not know where to start. They may kind of know where to start, but they may be kind of battling themselves as to whether or not they should do something. This person is getting the impulse to do something, and it could be around partnering up, expansion, the Six of Wands, but they're not sure if it's appropriate. I'm hearing they're not sure if they should do it, but it's like they're not taking into consideration how they feel. And as a result, they're not taking into consideration how you feel, you know, because you guys are one. So the Hierophant showing up here, and that's a message from Spirit. Typically, that's guidance and wisdom. And so this person they're not taking into consideration how they feel about you enough. And that's what's making it so hard for them to just take that step and just reach out, make that move, do the thing that they really want to do. There's something that they so badly want to do. I mean, they're so overwhelmed with energy, you know. They could just be overwhelmed with, I'll see what they're overwhelmed with. It could just be like separation, the fact that it hasn't gotten to the point where they want it to be. They're overwhelmed with energy of the Magician, which is like driving them to make a move, take a stance, willpower. The Magician is a very masculine energy. Believe it or not, it's one of the most masculine energies in the whole deck is the Magician, because it's literally initiatory. It's so ballsy. And so this person may not be the most ballsy person. They might be ballsy, but this person may not be so ballsy when it comes to this. For some reason, something about this is a little too ballsy for them. And they're wanting to do it, and they're definitely getting these nudges from Spirit that are signs and synchronicities from Spirit, telling them to initiate, telling them to fix the situation, telling them to reach out, telling them to manifest. We have the Magician showing up twice and the Chariot showing up twice, telling them, hey, you know what? Make it happen with Virgo. But this person is just fighting themselves. They're literally fighting themselves, not letting themselves come forward. And that's what it is. So in the recent past, I see that there was Spirit wants me to ask why. Okay. So Spirit said why you need to ask why they're so confused, or why there are so many. So the thing is as much as this person would stand through anything, and you need to really pay attention, as much as this person would stand through anything to make the situation work, and they would overcome pretty much anything, and as much as they have already overcome to make the situation work with you, at the same time they're also struggling a lot with paranoia and being fearful and feeling like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? The Nine of Wands is like my scaredy cat card a little bit. Like, this is like the perfect picture of the Nine of Wands. In my opinion, it should always be like this in every deck, because it's like a cat panicking, and it's like, but you can't see anything, but the cat's freaking out, you know? And I feel like that's kind of what's going on with this person. They're struggling with feeling like, well, what if this goes wrong? Or what if this goes this way? And what if and it's so, this person is so overwhelmed with energy. They're so overwhelmed with fears, concerns, you name it. They're just completely bombarded with it. And it's really hard for them. So in the recent past, we have the Eight of Wands. And so this person they were like coming out of something. I want to know more about this death. Everybody has got this death energy here. Every single sign I have done so far has death in their reading. And there was a permanent change, something that this person permanently let go of, that ended up opening up a opportunity for them to go towards you, or to make the situation work. And this permanent change could have been on both sides, where both of you guys were shedding old facets of yourself. I'm going to have a look at what this permanent change is. Spirit's like, maybe not, but I just want to know a little more about whatever this is, the Five of Cups. So this person has been letting go of regrets, past regrets, and old emotional, like kind of stale emotions that are rooted in loss and rooted in feeling like they can't get something back. And they had to really grieve the loss of something or someone that they felt like they could never get back. And they grieved this loss through this period of death. They actually let go of this loss. And as a result, now they were ready and able and open to take action and move forward. And I feel like this even opened this person's energy up to you a lot more. You may have noticed in the recent past that they're more open with you, or you feel like there's less of a blockage between the two of you. And it's because it's true. You're feeling it energetically because they've really let go of some past regrets. This could have been the loss of a person. I'm hearing the loss of a child, the loss of whatever, anybody in their life. It feels like it could have been an actual physical loss that this person experienced, that it was really hard for them to move on and move forward from it. And it doesn't matter how long ago it was, it's just really hard for this person to move on. They may have also had a loss in their family as well that triggered a change in who they are. And I'm not going to say recently, but I'm going to say a little more recently than, like, I'm not going to say it's like a decade ago. It could have been like a year ago or like a couple months ago, where they lost someone in their family, and it really made them get serious about you and get serious about this connection, but also shed those old emotions or those old belief systems that were attached to fear of loss and lack and loss. That's what my guides keep saying. They keep saying lack and loss. So the present energy, and I'm going to tidy up the cards a little bit because I know you can't see them. All right. So the present energy is the Five of Wands. This person's fighting themselves when it comes to doing something. And it's good. I knew this wasn't a bad energy. They're fighting themselves when it comes to making a move, taking action. And what is this around? It's around the Two of Wands. It could be a partnership. It could be reaching out. The Two of Wands literally can mean reaching out, sending a letter or an email, or giving a phone call. But also it has to do with partnering up. So some of you guys, this person may want to like partner up with you in some way, shape, or form, like, but in like more of an expansive way. And it's not necessarily, it's like the act of moving together or moving forward energetically. So it's not like the Two of Cups where there's like a rekindling of emotions, but this person actually wants to take an action to you or take an action with you that will help bring things to fruition. It'll also heal the connection. It'll make the both of you guys so happy. You guys both want this, whatever it is that you want this person to do, they want to do it too, Virgo. They do. They want to do it too. And I feel like I need to really explain that to you and clarify that for you, and reassure you that they want the same thing that you want. They want the same thing, Virgo. You're not the only person wanting this. But it's just so frustrating. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be because maybe the move will be bumpy. It could be because there's a lot of blockages that they feel like they cannot surmount. There's so many reasons why. And we have the Sun. This is their happiness. You are their happiness. So this person is like, they really like, it's so hard for them because on one end, and this is why it's the Five of Wands, this is why it's entirely frustrating. On one end, like nothing on this world would make them happier than doing whatever it is that they're fighting themselves from doing, right? But then on the other end, they're afraid, like, what if this ends up crashing the chariot? You know, what if this ends up making the situation go completely awry and it doesn't work out anymore and there's no hope anymore after this if I try this? You know, this person's kind of like, even though this is all they want to do, all they want to do is make this move. All they want to do is make this change. But they also feel like, what if it doesn't go the way that we both want it to go? What if it doesn't go the way I want it to go? What if I end up being shot down or I end up regretting it? Like, this person's really in their head. So we have the Chariot reversed here. And what it is it's basically signifying a move or change, an obstacle being overcome. That, yes, the obstacle itself is difficult, but there's also other obstacles in the way of that obstacle that could completely crash the whole chariot as a whole. So you have Temperance. This person may also, whatever action that they're wanting to take may require them to do some healing. It may require them to do some healing that they're not necessarily, I don't know if they're ready to do, or they've healed enough. Or let me know a little more about this healing, please. So you have the Knight of Wands. They may need healing from like their younger years, or they also may just need healing when it comes to following their impulses. This person may have trouble following their impulses. Is not the easiest thing for them to do. Like, they really struggle with just bucking it up and just doing what it was that they were wanting to do. The Five of Wands again. They really struggle with, like, there's one side of them, and it's not as much as the Two of Swords as much as it's the Five of Wands. It's energetic, where it's not mental, where they fight themselves mentally. It's like energetically they get so frustrated, and it's because there's an impulse that spirit keeps sending them. And this happens a lot. When you don't act on your impulses right away or as fast as you should, this is a very important thing that people need to understand. When you don't act on your impulses as fast as you should, or when it's coming up, you start to feel irritated and frustrated, and it's because you're bucking against, like, spirit is like giving you, like, you're putting a spoke in the wheel, and it's like the wheel is spinning for you, and you put a spoke in it, and so the wheel it's always going to want to spin, but you got a spoke in it, so it's going to be like jammed up, and then it starts to overheat, and then smoke starts coming out. And that's essentially what's going on with this person. They're feeling this guidance. The Magician and the Chariot, they're both extremely magical energies. They're feeling this nudge and this incentive to do something, to fix this, to work on this, to make this happen, but they're fighting it because they're afraid of what the outcome will be, and they need healing around just following their impulses and not caring if they don't get the result that they were wanting. They need to understand something around results, and that, or expectation, in the sense that sometimes when you're feeling like you need to take an impulse or you need to do something, it's not necessarily because of the outcome that you're going to get. Sometimes it's because of an outcome that's supposed to come years down the line. Or sometimes that's one part of the whole thing. Sometimes that is just, it's because you need to do that to get to that. You know, like, I have to take 5 steps to get to the stairs. I can't just levitate to the stairs or snap my fingers to get to the stairs. I have to take the steps. And so they have issue and trouble with feeling rejected, feeling like, whatever. And it's because they struggle with confidence. The Knight of Wands, he's a very confident energy, and he's just here for the moment. And they have trouble living in the moment. They often think a lot about what's to come in the future, and if they do this, then what would happen? And this is weird because this person feels very fiery, or they feel very Cancer-like, because there's a lot of Cancer energy, a lot of Cancer energy, a lot of air and a lot of water, but also a lot of fire in this person's energy field. And so they feel like a very fiery person. They feel like someone who was, maybe when they were younger, they were very impulsive, but maybe things kind of like went awry for them when they were impulsive. And so they kind of learned, like, not a good lesson, but they just kind of created another habit that was karmic for them, where now they don't act on the impulses, even though it's natural for them. And because they're afraid of something blowing up in their face, and also mainly because they need healing. There was some sort of a shortcoming, or maybe they perceived it as a failure that happened because they were taking this action, but they haven't fully processed this. And that's why they're saying they need healing, right? They haven't fully processed. And that's why both of you guys need therapy, right? They haven't fully processed. They haven't fully processed this pain and this loss and this sadness, or the failure that they perceive as a failure. They haven't fully processed it, because if they fully processed it, they'd understand that actually whatever they perceived as the Chariot reverse or as a failure was actually a victory, but it was just a victory in a different way, if you catch what I'm trying to say. They need healing there. And so they're not wanting to take a step forward because they don't want to ruin this, but it's more like, it's much more complicated than they realize. It's not about ruining this. It's about a past relationship that possibly didn't work out because they took an action and they're like regretting taking that action. But it's like, actually, maybe that relationship wasn't meant to work out. And that's probably why the Sun is sitting here smiling, like, yes, well, I wish this person would understand that maybe the situation, maybe they felt the impulse to do whatever it was that they did because this spirit was trying to get them out of that situation anyways. And that's why you need to understand. You need to study the 5s. Whenever you go through something that's a 5 energy, you got to study it. You can't just up and dip. The 5 energies vibrate under the Hierophant. For a second, you guys, I thought I wasn't recording. I was going to shoot myself in the foot, but I am. So the 5 energies, they vibrate under the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is a teacher. He's a great teacher. He's not the great teacher, right? But he's one of the great teachers. And so you have to study this. You have to learn the lesson. And there's a reason that this is happening. And when you don't fully acclimate the energies of the 5s, they come back to haunt you over and over and over again, which is what's going on with this person. They're being haunted by a 5 because they haven't fully processed why that happened. And it's going to be hard for them to move on and let go because they haven't fully processed it, so they can't. Something in their spirit's holding on to it, and it's literally stalling the connection and putting a spoke in the wheel. But it's good to explain it. It's good to understand it, because now we're understanding why they're doing this, because it's literally coming from the most innocent place. It's coming from a place of somebody not wanting to mess this up, right? And my God said it in a different way. They don't want to F this up. Because they really value this, or because they really want, like, that when they do come back, or if they to restart the situation, they really want the situation to go the long way and to go and to exceed all obstacles and to exceed all expectation. They really want this to be amazing, more amazing than you could even imagine. They have really good plans for you. They have really good intentions with you, but they just have not fully understood why something happened the way that it happened. And as a result, they're not letting themselves have that victory, or spirits literally having to push this victory into them. It's literally spirits having to get this person up, sit them down, put their hands on the wheel, turn on the gas, push their foot on the pedal, because they're literally so afraid to do it. Like, because they just don't want to fail, is what I keep hearing. So we had the Emperor reverse, like Spirit's really forcing this person, and I don't mean to use the word force, but that's how Spirit's saying it. They're forcing this person to man up, right? I don't like always saying that, but that's what I'm getting from my guides, to man up and to do the right thing and to be in their authority and to do the emperor thing. You know what I mean? And it's really scary for them because they just feel like they don't know if they could handle it. You know what I mean? They don't know. Like, this person's kind of going through their own thing where they're kind of struggling with, well, what if this doesn't work out? And it's like, well, excuse me, you're the emperor. I mean, the emperor usually dies on the throne, right? You're not getting this guy off the throne unless you kill him. You're not going to knock the emperor down, and he's not just going to resign. They usually kill the emperor, right? Go back in history, go watch some movies with kings and the Titans or whatever, the Greeks and stuff. Whenever there's an emperor or a king like this, you literally are not going to get him off the throne unless you slit his throat or, you know, you kill him. He's not coming off. And they need to understand that just don't move. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to understand that the only, like, yeah, maybe, I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to go wrong if they do whatever it is that they're thinking of doing, because it's not going to go wrong. It's not, right? But even if it does go wrong, they don't have to leave. And I feel like once this person studies and understands the Hierophant energy, they will understand that it can't go wrong. It can't. Because the way you feel about them, this action they're going to take, it's amazing for the two of you guys. You guys both want this. But they're afraid, they're getting in their head like it's not going to work. But if they did it, they would realize that it was for no reason and that it was just a lesson around, the Five of Wands is a lesson around competition and just being like, okay, you know what? Like, I don't have any competition. The only person I'm really competing with is myself. And anybody who puts me in a competition is not really for me or not really ready for me yet. Okay? So they need to really learn that the lesson of the Five of Wands, and the world shows up here, right? That's beautifully put, right? Beautifully put. They have to conclude a cycle around failure. This person is really afraid of failing and really afraid of failing at being with you. But it's like they can't fail. Like they're not realizing that, like, you're their soulmate. Like they can't fail. You're not going anywhere. Like, but they also need to make peace with the things that they considered failures and realize that they were not failures. In fact, they won, because if it was old romances, those romances were not really people that they were meant to be with anyways. They weren't really people who were in alignment with them anyway. So it was a good thing that it didn't work out, right? So they won. But they're not looking at it that way. They're still looking at it from the same level that they were looking at it, or from the same place that they were looking at it back in the day, I'm hearing, when they were younger, and when this situation first kind of went awry, or when this situation happened. They haven't fully processed whatever this lesson was. They haven't fully processed it, because it's usually a lesson in humanity or society, or a lesson in yourself, a lesson in your beliefs that possibly hold you back or that move you forward. And normally the fives talk about lessons and beliefs that hold you back, hinder you, make you feel shut out, whatever. The fives, they're worth studying. They're very much worth studying. So what's going on in the near future? We have strength, right? And this is in this week, but also a lot of you guys, it's extending out. I give it to the end of December, but I wouldn't also put a date and a time on it. When you put dates and times and you get very specific about things, when you put dates and times and you get very specific about things, you make it really hard for yourself to live in the moment. And when you're not living in the moment, then how can you be really truly in flow with your destiny? So I wouldn't worry too much about the timing of this, but this person will be getting the strength to come forward and to do the right thing and to do whatever it was that they're wanting to do. Strength comes right after the Chariot. You saw how that card came right out and it spilled right out, right? And the Eight of Wands actually fell in this position. Do you remember that? The Eight of Wands came right here. And then I moved it here because I asked for the recent past. So they were all, and the Eight of Wands vibrates under number 8 strength. So this person was always gonna, it didn't matter where, you see how this, see how it works? It didn't matter where this person, how these cards fell, they were always going to break out of that block and break out of that energy. And we have the Empress here, right? So they were always going to break out of that block and out of that energy. So what are they getting the strength to do? And it's the Devil. They're having the strength to follow their desires as opposed to their fears, to break out of their fears in order to have what it is that they truly want. And yeah, I mean, it's easier said than done. When you're sitting in the Devil energy and you're wrapped up in that cage, you got that scary mongrel with claws and I'm not going to sit there and drag him right now, but the way they depict the devil with the horns, when you're looking at that and you're in a cage, you're going to be like, oh my God, scared as crap. Like, but then when this person opens their eyes and sees that the gate's open and it's not actually locked, then they realize that, they were in there. They were just in there, and maybe it wasn't serving them, but they could leave now, And that's the energy of the Devil that this person's freeing themselves from. And they're going to do something. They're going to do the right thing. But once again, these are major arcana energies. So you have to give major arcana energies time to work. That's another thing. People need to really give major arcana energies time to work. They just don't arrive and then they happen. Sometimes, the Sun is the only card that I see. Well, one of the few cards actually that I see that right away. But when you have these major arcana action cards like the Chariot and the Strength energy and other certain major arcana action cards, they take a little bit of time. Even the World, even though it's not necessarily action oriented, the World takes a little bit of time before it truly culminates. Like you'll see World energy and like you'll kind of be like worlding it out, but like it's not fully done yet. It can hang around for 1 year, that just still completing it, but like still celebrating for like a year, But like honestly, isn't it like a good thing that it does that? Because the World puts you through all this other crap. Like literally, it puts you from the Fool till Judgment. So yeah, you should celebrate for a year, hon. You really should be celebrating for a whole year, But I feel like this person, they're gonna get the strength to break out of that paradigm and that limiting system and that fear-based system. We have Judgment. And I'm not sure how long this Judgment card was sitting out here, but this is going to take a little bit of time for this person to do. Now, the good thing about it is that they are really letting this energy work for them. They're not fighting the energy at all. They're kind of letting it work for them, but also they're going through these things alone. They don't have a psychic or a high priestess most likely guiding them through it, So that's telling them, the secrets of the universe and explaining to them what's going on and all that stuff. So they're figuring it out on their own. So they need time, just like how you need time, right? But they definitely want to reignite this connection and reignite things with you, Virgo. They want to reinvigorate, give life again to the situation and see where things go. And they're really excited about it. But they also need to heal that Ace of Wands part of themselves that is very optimistic and excited about life. This person may struggle with being optimistic about life. And it usually happens when you're concluding a cycle. When you hit the World, you're so exhausted. You need a year to celebrate. You need a year to just vibe out. It's exhausting. It's 20 something years of your life. Typically, when you're truly going and the major arcana is truly playing out in real time, this is years of your life. You don't always hit the World every single day. It's bound by time. It's Saturnian. You have to remember it's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is bound by time. So you're going to need some time. And they went through all of that. They went through the Chariot. They went through Strength. And this was a separate cycle that now they're just needing to clean up. And the things they need to clean up is the Hierophant and the Magician energy and also the Chariot energy. They need to clean that up a little bit. They need to heal that stuff. They need to let that stuff go from that past cycle. So they need time. They need time. They're not just going to show up next week. But this person wants to rekindle stuff with you. And for those of you guys who are already with this person, and maybe this person is wanting to do something, it could just be like making an agreement, getting married, I'm hearing, right? The Four of Wands is a marriage card, getting married, reuniting, coming together, moving in together. The Chariot energy talks about moving in together as well. So something that you guys want to do together to move forward. But also a lot of you guys, this is also rekindling the connection, getting together again, restarting the relationship, or starting where you guys left off. They want to do it and they want victory as much as you. But they need, and both of you guys, these are major arcana, right? Both of you guys need strength. You need strength for something. They need strength for something else. They need strength for taking a look at their codependency, taking a look at their lack of confidence or the parts of them that lack confidence. And well, my palm is itching. That's a sign. So they need time to look at this and the strength to break out of this and to choose their desires. Like the easiest way to get out of the devil, I'm gonna tell you right now. Actually, I don't even know if I want to tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. Y'all can just figure it out. Because it's honestly, when you figure it out on your own, it's always better and it moves faster. But there's so many ways to get out of the devil that's like, you can trick the devil. But like, he wants you to trick him. He wants you to trick him. He does. That's what he's there for. But there's so many ways to get out of this. That's like, just choose your impulses, choose your desires, and don't care about societal norms. They don't matter. Don't care about what other people think. Don't care at all. Just do what you want, and it might be slimy to some people, but at least you got what you desired, and this person's needing the strength to really do that. Strength has really been showing up lately for everybody as power and as the need to remember yourself as well. Like, strength in the past may have meant having patience, but right now in this time that we're in, it really means choosing yourself, having the strength to choose yourself, choose your heart, choose how you feel. All right, so why is the strength energy showing up here? And it's because of the Three of Pentacles. They absolutely need to have strength in order to cooperate with the universe. And there's the Wheel of Fortune again. So like, to let the wheel spin, they need that strength to pull the spoke out and let the wheel spin. Because when you're not letting the wheel spin, you're blocking abundance, you're blocking so many things. So I wouldn't be surprised if this person was struggling a lot with prosperity or in some way, shape, or form because they constantly put the spoke in the wheel. Or they put a spoke in the wheel years ago and they're just too afraid to take it out because they are afraid of failure like that again. I feel like they had a major accident of some sort, like majorly, but they're not realizing that it was actually a victory. But they can only realize that when they go within, right? So that's what I'm seeing here in the near future. They're getting the strength to come forward, to choose their desires, to break out of the codependency or anything toxic that's blocking the two of you guys. They're getting that strength. And also with the Judgment energy here, they're getting also the strength to conclude the cycle and to go on their divine life purpose. You are attached to this person's divine life purpose. And so they need the strength to follow their divine life purpose. This is scary energy. When you're breaking, you got some scary cards. This person's got some scary cards that they're looking at. Like, even though, yes, what's on the other side is amazing because what's on the other side is you, but they're having to confront stuff that's like been a boogeyman in their closet their whole life, or like for like 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? Or like skeletons that they were like never wanted to even confront ever again. And now they're confronting it to be with you because you're attached to their divine life purpose. But it's very scary. Judgment is extremely scary. Like I trust me, it's a very scary energy when you're going through it and you don't understand it, or judgment's not as scary as the devil, but when you couple the devil with judgment, that feels a little like nerve-wracking, so have some patience. I'm not seeing you guys being impatient though, but just a reminder to have patience with yourself and with this person because they're confronting stuff that like you never been through, but like it was really crazy, you know? It was really wild, right? And as a result of this, now they're breaking out of jail. Strength is like my breaking out of jail card. So they're breaking out of jail and they're kind of freeing themselves from something that was limiting them and trapping them. They're literally moving forward. Like I just see someone busting through brick walls and just moving forward like nonstop. Like after this, things are gonna just move for this person and for the both of you guys. But they really have to confront the stuff that really blocked them because they were fearful, and it made it hard for this person. Like I feel like for the longest time they never lived in the moment because of everything, you know. So you know, it's about being a little patient and having some compassion, but also understanding that the universe is working for you. I mean, this is super. I knew that this reading would get better. I knew it, you know. I felt it. I was like, guys, this reading's gonna get better. Don't even worry about it. And like here it is, like getting better already. So, but all I'm going to urge you to do and all I'm going to really say is just give it time, and also make sure you're going within too. You know, there's a lot of major arcana on this table, and major arcana energy is shared by both. So it's not just one person that's dancing here. It's two of you people tangoing, okay? So make sure you're going within and you're shedding old blockages as well, because I'm sure if you're relating to this person and they're your soulmate, there are some things you need to overcome as well yourself. There are some things that maybe you have felt like was a failure, but in reality it was a victory that you need to really make peace with within yourself too. So take that time out for yourself as well, but it's more for this person, I'm feeling. All right. Okay, Virgo, that's your weekly reading for the first week. So I call it a weekly 1.0, right? For the Virgo collective. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really hope this helped. So be sure to show your support by liking the video. And also now would be a perfect time to leave a comment down below about your situation. I read all the comments, you guys. I wake up in the morning and like it's one of the first things I do. Not the very first thing I do, but it's one of the first things that I do is check the comments. So you guys know that it's not just going to be commenting and then no one's going to say anything. Of course I'm going to say something to you. Of course I'm going to like it. Of course I'm going to interact. So go ahead and share it. I really appreciate it and I love seeing it and I love knowing that you guys are like really liking, like I love knowing that you're liking it. Like it helps when you communicate with the person who is uploading it to let them know what you're feeling and what you're thinking, what's going on with you, or we're reading on your personal life. Like I want to know. I'm actually like I genuinely care about every single person. So feel free to comment down below and I will try my best to get back to you. And I will obviously try my very, very best because I will get back to you. All right. So also be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. If that's something that you want to do and you know that you want to do, be sure to subscribe, right? And be sure to also hit the bell as well so you can be notified about all my uploads. If you don't hit the bell, YouTube doesn't really notify you. And so I don't know how it really works, but I know it's kind of confusing on the subscription page lately for like a year or so, that it's best that you hit the bell so that you know when someone uploads and you get a notification in your email or also on your phone as well if those settings are on in your phone. All right. Now, if you want to connect with me personally, my website is in the description bar down below. Feel free to check it out and don't be a stranger. If you'd like to connect with me on my other social medias, which I'm on certain points of the year, I'm more active on other social media platforms. I usually try to be as active as I can always on YouTube, but Instagram, it's like a spring thing. Instagram's a winter spring thing for me. Pinterest is more fall, late summer and fall. And Facebook is a summer thing, right? So be sure to follow me on all those platforms, and so you can always catch me when I'm flowing with the wheel and going where spirit guides me to go next, and you don't miss anything. I love to do moon readings and all that stuff on Facebook as well. And I used to do daily card pulls on Instagram. I don't know if I'll go back to that yet, but I definitely try to post as much as I can. I try to post stuff about cats and stuff. So if you guys like cats and stuff, you might actually like my Instagram. But I try to chill on the cat stuff because I know not everybody's like into the whole cat thing. All right. So that is all I have for you guys, Virgo. Thank you so much for joining. I upload weeklies every Friday, as well as I have monthlies as well on the channel. So make yourself at home and check out everything whenever you can, or however much as you can. And I really love you guys and appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye. See you next Friday.